Now, when I thought about this topic, or you know, in before I was preparing to do this video, I had some flashbacks of, you know, what it was like this deciding that I'm going to, follow Christ and get baptized and everything after that. And in my early Christian years, I remember I remember that I used to really push to ask for my baptism, because at that time I just really wanted to get out of the way. Yes, I decided that I wanted to be a Christian, but I just really wanted to get my baptism out of the way. And in some ways I thought that, oh, when I'm baptized, this is the part where, okay, it gets real, and it is no concrete, but truth and in fact, I know that there are some persons in the world that really believe that baptism saves a person. It really doesn't. It's just a symbol to show others that you have accepted Christ. So baptism, no way, no form saves you. You have to make the decision on your own to say, I am saved. But the baptism is just a physical representation. And I just want to get that out there. But my journey as a Christian, I must say that it has been rough, sweet. It's just a lot of emotions, if you may say. And I'm not here to daunt on anything to say that, oh, you cannot be a Christian, because you can. It just You just need a lot of resilience and a lot of faith. Your faith levels have to be on the top of everything, because I mean, you are coming from a life of, parties, sin, dancing, drinking, all of that, whatever it is that you may be coming from. It was so easy to indulge in those stuff. It was just so easy to say yes to this, yes to that. But no, you have to be refusing what the world is giving you. And you have to now make a choice that, I'm gonna not go with this, I'm gonna go with this. Just like in life, if you're going to change your diet, and you used to eat burgers, you used to eat a lot of oily food, you used to eat whatever your hand reaches, you now have to make the decision to, substitute what you used to do for something new and more healthier. Just as how you would, go out of your way to make sure you get your vegetables, your fruits, and all of that. It's just like that with the Christian life. You have to go out of your way, and you have to use willpower to ensure that you are doing what you are supposed to do, and no longer indulging in what the world have to offer. Now, there are a lot of things I had to learn, and you know, a lot of things I had to give up, a lot of things, a lot of people I had to give up. And when I say people, I mean people. I remember when I messaged a friend of mine and told them that I was going to get baptized, change my life and all of that. And the person looked at me. Well, it wasn't through a physical, but it was through messaging. And the person replied and said, I'm just gonna paraphrase here, but what it really meant that they were saying was, haha, good luck, you'll be back, blah blah blah, doing whatever, whatever. And I found that very discouraging, and I even took it and I said that, okay, this is what you think of me, this is what you would encourage me as to, this won't last, you'll be back soon. And yes, I had to do away with that person, because who wants someone like that in their lives that would allude to something like that? and rather than to encourage them, to do the right thing, the necessary thing. And it goes to show what having Christian friends is all about, and it's all for your own good as it is theirs, because they will motivate you to do the right thing. They're not going to judge you and say, oh, you shouldn't do that, you're stupid, you're going to suffer the consequences. Yes, they're going to advise you that there are consequences for your action if you did something that you're not supposed to do. However, at the end of the day, they should be the one encouraging you to get back on track and to get back where you were, and to even help you to get where you were, right? So I had to drop a lot of people, a lot of things I had to stop doing. I had to stop wearing, and I can tell you about that. When I just got baptized, I still had some clothes that were questionable, and I mean like crop tops, short shorts, stuff like that. And I mean I used to wear them on the road. And no one ever said to me that, oh, you're a Christian, no, you shouldn't wear those. No. By wearing them though, I felt the conviction that this is no longer you. This is something that you should change, and this is something that you should just not have anymore. And I remember I slowly got to get rid of the little short shorts, the crop tops, the tights, and everything. And I didn't feel bad about it. I just said, this is not for me anymore. And I, not saying that I started to dress like a granny. However, I started to dress modestly, you know and I got clothes that weren't too tight. I got clothes that were not short and stuff like that. And I can just see the gradual improvements over the years, of my own personal experience. And I mean, if you are a Christian, if you're a new Christian, if there's not improvements, if you're stuck at a place for so long and there's not improvements, or you don't have the mindset to say, oh, I need to improve this, then I think something is off, right? I remember as a Christian, starting as a young Christian, I didn't really read the Bible much. I, read the Bible when I reached the church, and that was about it. I do some daily, with the Bible app, some daily reading, and that was about it. But over time, I found myself having to go into the Word, researching up what this means, researching up what different scholars had to say about this, in understanding a particular text in the Bible that I was reading. And it goes on and on about um, transformation. So it went from the Bible reading, it went from my prayer life. I was gradually seeing improvement. My song selections, I was gradually seeing improvement. So I'm not saying that I don't listen to Mary Mary and all of the vibesy, gospel music that is out there. However, there is a point in your Christian journey where you just see yourself leaving, all of that vibes in music, and just transferring to some worship music, something deep, and it starts to speak to your spirit now. So, we have the mental understanding of, okay, we're a Christian now, we have to stick to this, we have to stick to that. But it comes down to where your heart is, and you leave from the mind and you start with the and you transfer to the heart. So you go as a young Christian, yes, you go to church as a rite of passage as a young Christian, and you attend certain things that the church is keeping, as a young Christian. However, it has to transcend from that. It has to grow from just, okay, I'm going to go to church today because I'm a new Christian and I have to go to church. but you have to transcend to the fact that, I'm a Christian now, and I want to go to church. I want to participate in this. I want to do that, right? So it's not solely doing stuff as just a rite of passage or something that you hear that they say you have to do, but you have to really sincerely want to do it. So when you come when young persons come to church and they are in a new atmosphere, they're in a new company of people, and they turn around and see people praising, and they might want to follow it, but sometimes they don't really feel the need to follow. And this is for persons now that weren't really transformed, but mental they had a mental what would you call it, a mental choice that they want to follow God, but the heart is just not there as yet, right? So for the ones that had the mental choice, they would see persons praising and stuff like that, but they automatically they don't feel like doing that. But for the ones that were transformed by the heart, they come in and they just start, as Jamaicans would say, them Lego themselves in the worship and stuff like that. So I don't know if that was affecting my audio, but we pressed along. Yes, so I'm saying that, basically things started to change. My prayer life, my worship life, and all of that. And I can say that obedience is the best choice because I got some advice. Some of them were not so gentle. However, I looked at where it was coming from and what it is pointing to. And the whole fact is that it is pointing to me being a better Christian, or a better servant in Christ. And I know that if you're a young Christian watching this, I know that a lot of comments will come your way and it might not sound pleasing to the ear. However, you know, this is what it is, and it is going to come whether you like it or not. And you just have to some would say pick sense out of nonsense and just work with what you have to do. So I didn't get saved at an altar or a prayer meeting, a crusade, nothing like that. Yes, I was going to church, but I was just alone one day, and all that was around me, I just zoned out, and I was feeling depressed. I felt in despair. I felt like I had nowhere to go, and I felt this warmth. I felt this assurance, and I ultimately just said in that moment that I'm going to give my life to Christ. And from that moment, I have not looked back and say, "Oh, I wish I didn't do this," because this was actually the best choice I could have made for myself, and no one and nothing could have filled the void that I was feeling. And since coming to Jesus, I have not felt like that again. I have not felt that moment of dread. I have not felt like I needed to be in a grave. I am just so happy that I had the chance to choose Jesus when I did, because most persons they end up dying before they get to choose Jesus. But I am so grateful to God that I get to choose, and I chose Christ. So I just want to encourage somebody today that if you're contemplating giving your life to Christ, please do so while you have the chance, because you might not know when you will not be here anymore. And coming to Christ, when you come, you're not gonna just change in an instant just like that. It's going to take time, but it takes you to know who you are, to know who you serve, to know your God. And eventually, God will start to speak to you on things that you need to change about yourself and things that you need to start doing. So just take the leap of faith, because that's all that it takes sometimes. It's just that leap of faith that just says, I'm going to serve God. I thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions, leave them down in the comment below. Don't forget to subscribe and like.